One more. Welcome back to episode 13 of the Kang Gang Pod. Ryan Clark.
Hi, Christopher.
This is episode 13. Let me tell you this.
Yeah?
Episode 13 is supposed to be so special, so symbolic, because in Sacramento Kings history, there's been so many legends to have graced the number 13 on their jersey. Yogi Stewart, Doug Christie, Yorgos Papagiannis.
Okay, that's a bad one.
Tyreek Evans.
Okay.
Derek Williams.
One of my,
Quincy Acey.
That's a dog.
And Keegan Murray.
I mean, the way that the Kings play tonight, they might be my 13th reason why. I mean, oh my God. I mean, Christopher, I don't know how you want to start this. I don't know if you want to start off with the win on Wednesday that was supposedly going to save our season. Let's actually backtrack.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do.
Let's backtrack it.
So the Kings go on a terrible 4-game losing streak. Kings fans were in shambles. I was in shambles. I think we were all just searching for answers. And we were so close. We were so close. Our hand was hovering over the panic button. In our last episode, we were ready. We were so close to touching. We weren't ready to touch it yet. We were hovering. And then Monty McNair, he makes a phone call.
Ring, ring, ring.
Ready? Let's reenact it.
Yep. Hello?
Hey, this is Monty McNair with the Sacramento Kings. Is this a good time to speak?
Yeah. This is a good time to speak.
So, Jay Crowder, I know you are a free agent, and I know that you have not been picked up by any current NBA team. I know that we worked you out in the off season, but
yeah,
are you free right now?
Yeah, I'm free. I still believe I got a chance in this league.
Well, we got a game in Minnesota like tomorrow. Do you think you could fly to Minnesota, meet us there, and like?
Yeah, I got you.
You ready?
I got you. I'm ready to start too.
Wait, what number do you want?
I'll take 99. You got 99?
Oh yeah, we got that, boss man.
All right,
awesome. We'll see you in Minnesota.
All right, boss man Tings, let's go.
Hey, thank you so much. We'll see you there.
Yeah, see you there.
Okay, so that happened, right?
That happened.
And Mike Brown threw him into the starting lineup. We changed things. We're sorry, to preface, we were missing. Trey Lyles went out with an injury. DeMar DeRozan still got that back inflammation. So we're down players again. So what does Mike Brown elect to do?
He starts him.
He starts Jay Crowder.
Did you see that move coming? Did you see him starting? Did you see that coming at all? From an honest perspective.
Okay, so my dad is in town for Thanksgiving, and he was like, I think Jay Crowder is going to start. And I'm like, are you serious? I was like, no, I think he'd be a great bench piece, He was right. The Sacramento Kings posted a photo of the starting five like maybe 30 minutes before the game, and Jay Crowder's in his Bucks uniform.
I know, that was the funniest thing,
which was the last team he's played for before the Sacramento Kings, and people were making jokes that he's like, he doesn't belong here, but man, seeing him on the court, seeing that energy, like we knew what he would bring, and after being absent from the NBA for so long and just putting that all onto the floor was incredible.
It was so incredible. I mean, I don't think the Kings have ever had like a heel in 20 plus years. I'm trying to think of the last
let's take a look.
I'm trying to think of the last heel that we had. Like the last person that gets under team's skins, basically throws them off their game. How Draymond is with the Warriors, Patrick Beverley. We have those people. But we have our own version. Seeing him talk smack to Julius Randle was the craziest thing ever.
See, that was an incredible thing to see, because they actually leaked the audio of their banter in the game, and it was really, really fun to listen to, because they were pretty much only shedding light on what Julius Randle was saying. They didn't really show how the game ended. But they were showing Julius Randle talking all that smack to Jay Crowder, and Jay just holds his own, and he just fights back when he's gonna win, and he just brings that type of physicality, which we were hoping that he would bring to us. I didn't think it would happen this soon,
or this quick,
or he literally put like a jersey's made for him maybe hours before the game starts, and he comes in and he's a difference maker, and people are starting to think like, is Jay Crowder like Monte McNair's like, is this the move that like puts the Kings in a different threshold for the season? Like, it really looked that way, the way that Timberwolves game ended. So let's start with the positives.
I want to start with the positives.
We have to because the Sacramento Kings come out on the road in Minnesota, which historically we played pretty well. We played
good in Minnesota.
I mean, not historically, but like, you know, the past couple
2 years
seasons,
we've won the game on the road.
Yeah, we like to play in Minnesota. I'd like to think.
I think as Minnesota likes to play here in Sacramento, I think we also like to play at Minneapolis and Target Center. So that's definitely. Like, it's a good trade-off. It's a very good trade-off.
I know, because like as we've seen, you know, the Kings are not performing well at home. You know, so
no, hell no.
We lose a bunch of games at home. It ends up spiraling into this 4-game losing streak, and we go on the road. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna win this game. So they go out in the first half. They play great. They play very physical. We get a 12-point lead going in to the halftime, and the Kings looked like a completely different team out there. We had a different starting lineup, obviously, with De'Aaron, Keon, Keegan, Jay Crowder, and Sabonis. That's a completely new starting five. You know, Kevin Huerter got pushed to the bench. DeMar DeRozan is out, obviously. So those were the two new starting starters in the starting five. And the first quarter looked great. It really did. Yeah. I don't really have much to nitpick because like the Kings played with a different type of energy.
Yeah, I agree.
But then
we even played better in the second half too. I mean, we were up by 12 at half.
Exactly. So we were playing really good, and then that third quarter starts.
And third quarter Kangs, we were like, oh boy. I remember scrolling through Twitter
during the third quarter.
Everybody, and that was when like Huerter was getting minutes at that time, and everybody was just coming for Kevin Huerter's neck. Like, it was bad. Like, that run was terrible. I'm wondering, Christo, how many points did we score in the third quarter? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it was 12.
It's 12, and then
I think they scored. They scored 29.
29 to 12.
And we only scored 12. So I remember feeling so confident going into that second half, and then my mood completely switched. I started feeling all those terrible feelings that Kings fans go through when you're watching a game.
I know.
I was silent. I was at a loss for words. I was like, we're really going to blow another lead again. And we're going to have one of those quarters. And I think I texted the chat. I was like, I think we just need to accept that the Kings are going to have one quarter a game where it's abysmal.
Bad.
And you don't know when it's going to be. Sometimes it's the beginning of a game. Sometimes it's the third quarter. Sometimes it's the end of the game. Sometimes it's the fourth quarter. Like, I think we just need to come to terms that there's going to be one quarter or one long spurt of time where we do not play like the team that we are. I think that's fair to say.
That's a fair assessment.
Because right now we're not playing a full 4 quarters.
No.
And that third quarter really proved that point. So we get outscored by 17, which was just outrageous. Like, it was defeating. Like, I was not excited at all during that third quarter because I felt like the game got completely taken away from us, and they ended up going on a double-digit lead themselves. Fourth quarter happens. It's the 7-minute mark.
The lead, by the way, balloons up to 12. By the way, it balloons up to 12.
They really, like, I mean, Minnesota figured things out in that second half. And then the Kings fight back. Malik Monk, I think he led the charge that night.
Oh, my God.
He was the difference maker. It was so great to see Malik have that standout game like we've been waiting for. You know, he's been injured a majority of the season. He hasn't gotten to his full rhythm. But even last season, he played very, very well on the road in Minnesota. I think last season it was an NBA Cup game, and he had 42. And then he comes out tonight, or that Timberwolves game, and ends up with 27 points.
There was a moment where I like yelled at my TV where he had this like in between, or he had this tweener like between the defender, like a nasty step back. like hits a deep ass three. Like I was like yelling at my TV. I was with like Johnny and all of his friends. They were just yelling at the TV. We were like, "Oh my god, that's so filthy!" Hits another three, ties the game. Basically,
he brought us back.
Game. Like that fourth quarter was Monk's quarter, and that was the Malik Monk that we've all grown accustomed to.
That was the sixth man that we've had on our team for the past 2 years. To finally see him like shine like that in a crucial game when our team is on a 4-game losing streak. I think before the game, I think Malik said in a post-game interview that him, Fox, and Sabonis were going to talk to the team going into this game. Remember how we were in the last pod we were talking about, are they going to have a players only meeting? Like they
made it happen.
They said that they were going to talk to the team. And Monk being a leader on the team is crucial because he's like our main bench piece, because our bench is very thin right now. And he's like our only hope at the bench unit right now. And
we're saving that for later.
Yeah, but you see him bring us back. It was incredible to see. And we end up closing the game on a 29-8 run. It was insane. There was 7 minutes left. We were down 12. The Minnesota Timberwolves only had 98 points, and they ended up with 106, and we ended up with 115. So after that game, I was left speechless. I was so happy, and I was like, this was the turnaround moment for the Sacramento Kings season at game number 19.
Yeah. Or so we thought.
Fast forward to today.
To tonight.
The Sacramento Kings take on a very short-handed Portland Trailblazer team who won. Even if they were fully healthy, you would go into tonight's game and being like, oh, it's Portland. This should be a game that we should handle. And going back to what we said in our West Group A preview, I think I said we can't treat Portland like a bottom-tier West team because they play hard.
Yeah.
RT, what did you see from tonight's game? This was one of those games that, as a Kings fan,
where do you go?
It destroys you. I was watching the game with some friends, and I was absent during that group meetup during the game because I felt the soul taken out of me during that game. Can you walk us through what you saw?
So I will start with this though, everybody. The first quarter, it looked good. We looked good. We were looking like we were gonna have a nice little easy win. We've been talking about this for a while for the pod. I think you and I and Johnny, we've talked about this a lot, where we just want to see the Kings have a wire-to-wire win where we don't give up the lead. It's basically just like you lead the entire game, you blow out a team, you take care of business, boom.
And you rest your starting five with 5 minutes to go. Yep. One of those games. Yes.
Yeah, rest them with 7 minutes.
I wish.
Ugh. But positives, though, Sabonis, 14 points in the first quarter. I think he was 2 from 2 from 3. I think he only missed one shot in the first quarter, and it looked like it was so good. Isaac Jones, he had valuable minutes and all that stuff. He was being productive. He had this energetic. We were getting to the ball. We were hustling. And then the second quarter happens. And then the entire energy of the rest of the game shifts from there. It makes a complete left turn. We, in the first half, turned the ball over 14 times out of 20. 14. Most teams in the NBA, they turn the ball over 14 times in a game. 14 times in a first half.
At that point,
it is so deflating.
You're literally giving them the win at that point.
Yeah, you're
so
handing it to
early
them.
on. You're just giving them opportunity after opportunity.
Which was nuts because we were down 4 at half, and then that's the wild part. And then it just steamrolled into the second half, and it was just being out-bullied in the paint and just being out-dominated, being physical. The Portland Trailblazers have something called wings on their team.
But they were missing a crucial
They were missing a big wing.
So let me tell you who they were missing tonight. They're missing their rookie. I mean, not rookie anymore. He's in his sophomore year. Scoot Henderson.
Yep.
They're missing
Pretty likely,
Matisse Thybulle, who is an incredible defender, who's someone who I know the Sacramento Kings have been eyeing for a long time. I know that's on Monty's radar. They were also missing Jeremy Grant, and they were missing their rookie of this year, Donovan Clingan.
And Robert Williams.
And how could I forget?
Time Lord.
5 crucial pieces to a team at their I don't even know what to call them. You know, are they a rebuild team? Are they a young team? They're a team that could beat the Sacramento Kings very empty-handed, and that is just.
That's so
okay, we were missing DeRozan and we were missing Trey Lyles, but we can beat teams without one of our stars. Like, we should be able to beat teams, especially of this stature.
Yeah.
Especially coming off a win against Minnesota. How on earth do we just completely
just go away from it?
Go away from what was working in that Minnesota game and just fumble the entire game. We had one good quarter, and then second, third, fourth was
bad,
horrendous.
Good.
Every time you look up at the score, double-digit deficit. I was with some people that are fans of other teams in the NBA, and they're like, "Oh, this game's over. This game's over." And I'm like, "No, it's not. The Kings are going to come back."
And then fourth quarter happens, and then it's like, "Yeah, you're right."
And I'm like, how on earth do we let this happen, Ryan Clark? How do the Sacramento Kings continue to fall into this pattern? Let me ask you this. We're 20 games into the season now.
Oh, man.
Is this the team that we are moving forward? Like, are we just an average basketball team? Are we a below average basketball team? Like, I think it's fair enough to ask these questions because 20 games into a season, like, you should know where you're at. And obviously things could change. I'm sure things will change, but it doesn't seem like we're trending upwards right now. Like, like, this podcast would be so much different if we won tonight's game. Like, if we had like that blowout victory that fans expected us to. I'm sure even the Vegas odds had the Kings winning by double digits.
Yeah, we were -7.5 going into tonight's game, even on the road. But I guess to answer your question, Christo, I hate saying this. This team is not good. This team is just not that good. There's so many holes in our team. Our team is very top heavy. We have 3-4 really good players that are very, very good. And then the rest of our team is just question marks, people on down years, people that are, if their whole thing is there, where to start? I guess I'll start with Keegan Murray first, since we're talking about 13.
Number 13, yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've seen this regression coming.
He had so many not just tonight though.
It's a whole theme for the season.
I don't think anyone would have expected an offensive slump. I mean, like, he's still showing like glimpses of aggressiveness, but it's not resulting in points. Like, sometimes, like in tonight's game, 1 for 9 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3.
And you know when his last 3 came in? The last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
And at that point, you know, the game's already over. So that's just a freebie. So we could call it 0 for 9 if we want. But
I'm willing to, I don't know. I mean, I think, God, I don't know where to start with Keegan Murray. I still believe in Keegan Murray.
I think we all do.
We all do. Like, he's just, right now, he is going through, you could tell, like, his shot's not going in, and it's starting to affect him mentally. And this offensive regression, because he's basically asked to do so much on defense, he's been very good defensively. Don't get me wrong. But when you're a very good 3-and-D young player, like a young 3-and-D player, that carries value in itself. And right now, his offense just is not there. Like, it's taken a massive step back. And I know, yes, DeMar DeRozan's on the team. You know, there's De'Aaron Fox, who's basically taking that next step. Sabonis is still taking that next step. Monk is still a good player. But to be a very good team, Keegan Murray, you need to be that guy that's able to get that team to the next level. Keegan Murray is he had the rookie record for most threes.
Here, I have two things to say.
Just say it first, because I think this is a good idea.
So, Keegan Murray, rookie year, was shooting above 40% from the three-point line. Like you just said, he had the rookie record with over 200 three-pointers. Unheard of. Second year, dip. Third year, he is shooting...
Is it 27%?
I think he's around 28. It was either lower or at 28%. So the regression is real. We're only talking about his offense because his defense has been incredible.
Yeah, his defense is great.
Defense, but you need to be able to play on both sides. You can't for Sacramento's team, you need to play both. And we have three guys averaging over 20 points. Right? We have De'Aaron, we have Sabonis, and we have DeRozan. DeRozan has been in and out of the lineup with back pain. Malik Monk is finally starting to rise again. He's had two back-to-back. He had 27 last night, and he had 29 tonight. So Monk is
he's there.
He's taking on that. When DeRozan's on the court, he's like, okay, I will make up the points from him. So we have three guys that are scoring heavy points, but we're having no one else helping.
Yeah.
So how on earth are we going to win games when we only have three guys scoring? If you just go on NBA.com's website and you look on each box score for the teams that are winning, and you look at the box score, they're having 7, 8, 9 guys all scoring good amount of points. Whereas the Sacramento Kings were relying so heavily on our stars. So that brings up the question. So this is my point number 2.
Oh, I think I might have the same question as you.
So my point number 2 is, do you think that since we have the star-heavy lineup of Fox, Sabonis, DeRozan, Monk, do guys like Keegan, do guys like Trey, do guys like Keon, do guys like Kevin, do they think since we have these stars on our team that could all get their own, do you think that they don't feel comfortable contributing or shooting or for some reason these guys are not? You can't be in the NBA and not want to impact games like that.
I mean, I'll tell you this right now.
Just on a consistency level, because obviously we've seen spurts from Keon, we've seen the spurt from Keegan. It all happens at random spurts at a time, but as a collective, we have yet to see a collective. There might have been one, but
I think
overall there's not much.
No, I think to your point, to add this to your point, our two best 3-point shooters, percentage-wise, Sabonis and Keon Ellis, both shooting above 40%.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sums it up as a thing itself. So to me, I think what this is that we are seeing this is not a slump that's as bad. Last year, our free throw percentage was the main problem. This year, it's been our 3-point shooting. And in a league where it's a make or miss league, you can't miss your threes. Our record reflects that right now. We probably are bottom 10 in 3-point percentage as a team. And teams are just shooting the lights out of us. I mean, we've talked about this so many times on our podcast.
I know. I feel like we're just it's
a broken record.
It's a broken record at this point. It's we understand the issues. We implement something. It works. But the lack of consistency with this team is becoming an ultra concern for me.
Yeah, I am too.
Being 2 games below 500 in the first 2 games, in the first 20 games, this is the last thing that we would have thought happened.
No.
And we thought we were going to take that massive jump. We thought we had so many expectations for this season. And now seeing how many holes we have in our team right now, how are we going to float above 500 is my question.
How are we going to float above the West? That's the real question.
Like you said in the previous pod, there is 12 to 13 teams fighting for playoff seeding in the West. People in the East don't have this issue.
No.
If you look in the East, there's teams below 500 that are just comfortably in playoff position right now. We are not in that luxury being in the West. Yeah, we have the weather, sure. But we don't have that luxury in basketball playoff seeding. That is for sure. And let me tell you this, Ryan. A lot of teams in the West are banged up right now, and they're figuring it out. Whereas Sacramento, we get banged up a little bit.
And we're are like a collapsing domino.
We are just falling deeper and deeper and deeper, and I have so many questions that I don't know the answers to. I think everyone who's a Kings fan has these doubts in their head. There's obviously so much hope because we know the potential. We know who we have. We know who we have leading our team, and you know what this team could potentially turn out to be. But seeing 20 games in, it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good, and it's like stressful, and it's concerning. It causes anger. It's just like,
I don't think it's anger at this point. Now, if we've gotten to the sadness portion,
are we just sad right now?
I am very sad. This loss made me super, super sad. I mean, today I was just like, oh my God, how are we going to push forward? This is like one of those things where it's like, you just don't know. And then I talked about it last episode too. And this leads me to my ultimate question. Are we pressing that panic button?
I know.
Are we doing it?
The thumbnail of our video a couple days ago was Sabonis' hand hovering the button, and people were saying, yes, I've been panicked. Some people were saying, no, not yet. We have that incredible win with Minnesota, and then we regress instantly. Are we just one of those teams where it's like you never know what you're going to get? You're going to roll the dice. Some days you'll get snake eyes. Some days you'll get double sixes. Like, Are we ever going to know what we're going to get out of this team? At home, we're inconsistent. Away, we're inconsistent. And it's a reflection of our record. We're 9-11 right now.
This team is just not a good team.
We lose to bad teams. We lose to good teams. We've beaten good teams. Where are we right now?
Nowhere. We're in no man's land. We're in the...
Are we in the abyss?
Yeah, we're in basketball purgatory where we just don't know where we are.
You know that scene in Inception where... What is that called? Limbo?
Yeah, limbo.
Are we in limbo right now?
I think we are officially in limbo.
I don't want to be there.
I don't want to be there either.
I don't want the dreidel to stop spinning.
No.
I don't want to wake up from this bad dream yet. Because I think we could turn it around.
I think we could turn it around too.
So, Ryan, tell me, what do you think needs to happen for our season to completely turn around? Because you're seeing it happen across the league. Like, teams have had bad starts. Like, that is a common thing. Like, you start bad, you could turn it around. You've seen it with the Bucks. They had a terrible start. You know, they've been winning.
We haven't talked about the Timberwolves. Like, they're a game under 500 too.
Yeah, you know, and then like when we beat Minnesota, you know, Anthony Edwards was saying some crazy stuff in the postgame. Do you want to talk about that really quick?
Yeah, he was just Anthony Edwards. He was just like, hey, saying, this team is not a team right now. Everybody was just harping at Minnesota for. I'll tell you this, Christo. If we lost that game on Wednesday, the whole media would have just came for our throats and necks.
We dodged a bullet there.
We dodged a bullet. But now the target is back hovering above us. It's almost time. And because of this and a lot of things, there could have been some nasty media narratives that people that follow the NBA would have been saying about this team. I will say this. We play San Antonio on Sunday. That's got to be a game you got to win. You got to win that game. I don't care if Wembanyama is playing. I don't care if Harrison Barnes is coming back to Sacramento. That's a game that you just got to defend home court. And then we play Houston on Tuesday. That's a game you have to also win.
Okay, let's just briefly talk about this Kings Blazers loss. Let's just go over the statistics and then let's preview those next two games because those are really going to dictate our season, I think.
Sure.
Okay, so the Kings, like you said earlier, first quarter was great. You know, we scored over 30 points, but in the first half overall, we commit 14 turnovers, like you said. That's what teams commit in a whole game. And they're lucky to win if they commit over 14. But guess what? We added onto that list. We ended up committing 20 turnovers in tonight's game. You're not going to win when you commit 20 turnovers. Mm-mm. That's 20 less possessions that you have in a game. Like that's insane. Paint points. Portland Trailblazers outscore 64-34 in the paint without Donovan Clingan. Like it's, you know, a shorthanded team like Portland who's already a mystery team. Like, you don't know if they're tanking, you don't know if they're pushing for a play-in, like you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're able to handle a team that's supposed to be a contender in the West, like that is just such a disappointment. Kevin Huerter got injured in the second quarter. He turns an ankle.
Prayers up.
I feel like I love Kevin Huerter. I just want to start what I'm about to say with preface it with that. Like, I love Kevin Huerter. I love, like, when he's shooting well, he is an X factor for our team. But compared to last year and this year, he goes out with an injury when he's in a terrible slump. So it seems like, okay, like, oh, he's playing really, really bad. He's out with a shoulder injury. He's playing really, really bad. Oh, turns an ankle. Are these injuries going to be good for Kevin to, like, step away from the game, focus on recovery, and focus how to reinsert himself into the team? Or, like...
yeah, I mean, hopefully that's the case, but I think... Like I said, I think a lot of fans are kind of done with Kevin Huerter. I think a lot of Kings fans that have... And again, it's not really... I wouldn't say it's fair to, like, really point the finger at Kevin Huerter.
It's not just him, obviously.
It's not him. It's the whole team. It's the whole staff. I also will say this, too. I kind of will save this part for... But I'll talk about Kevin Huerter first, and I'll try and segue into what I want to say. But... Kevin Huerter, obviously, again, he is hurt right now. He's dealing with a lot of things that are happening. You can't really necessarily control that. And he's having a slump. He has gotten better defensively, so that is a positive. But I think this team needs to be better from the top to bottom. 15 of our 20 turnovers came from our star players. Fox had 5 turnovers. Sabonis had 5 turnovers. Monk had 5 turnovers. And Fox and Sabonis right now are top 10 in most turnovers per game. So that is a reflection of your star players needing to be better players. That just can't happen. I obviously know that, like listen, there's a lot of other star players, like Nikola Jokic is on that list, LeBron's on that list, and all that stuff. So you know for a fact that these players will be on that list.
Like,
because
if you have the ball as much as, you know, Fox and Sabonis do, like, you're bound to get turnovers.
Yeah, you're bound to get turnovers.
But you just hate to see them on that list.
But a lot of good players, they know how to take care of the ball. Yeah. And I think, like, those turnovers lead to fast break points. They learn to lead in turnover points. It just cannot be this inconsistent play where you turn the ball over a multitude of times and then your opposing team has opportunity to score based off of those turnovers. It just can't happen. And so the turnovers they need to clean up. Defense needs to be cleaned up big time. There's just...
Portland just looked like they had their way tonight.
Yeah, and Portland was the most physical team. They were the physical team tonight. They had physical wings. Shaden Sharp, he looked like he was coming out and grabbing boards. Denny Adavita, he came out and grabbed some boards. He they bullied Keegan. They bullied Keegan tonight.
What's that other guy? Kamara?
Oh yeah, Kamara. He was pretty good too.
I don't know if that's his name, but
yeah,
Tumani Kamara. I don't know.
I think that's him.
Dude, I don't know what is going on. Okay, so Fox had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Sabonis had a triple-double, 21, 14, and 11. Monk, off the bench, 29 points, 9 assists. Jay Crowder in the starting position, 10 points. Isaac Jones was 7 points with that nasty putback, which brought me so much hope. I'm like, dude, he's the future. Dude, the first quarter and the half, I was saying such incredible things about this team. And then I had nothing good to say from the second to the fourth. And then Keegan Murray, of course, 3 points on 1 of 9 shooting, which is just such a shame to see.
It's disappointing
because we love Keegan so much. We just love who he is as a person. We root for the guy. We love him still, but you got to do more than that.
Yeah,
man.
You have to do more, and especially last year where we were in trade talks with Pascal Siakam. Keegan was basically considered an untouchable at this point because we believed in him so much. So to see that regression and basically seeing Kings fans be like, package Keegan Murray in a deal, package Kevin Huerter together for picks, that is kind of just like the most deflating thing I've seen him in. And yes, Keegan Murray, it's almost just basically where Monty McNair, he did this with Tyrese Halliburton. He traded away him for Sabonis. So at that point, you thought, oh, maybe, after that 47-point game, that Keegan Murray was considered untouchable. There's no way that Monty McNair would trade him. Now it's gotten to a point where it's like, where's Keegan Murray's value at this point? It's like the lowest it's been in his career besides being a rookie.
That could be true. I was talking to a very close friend of mine tonight, and he keeps tabs on the Kings, but he also keeps tabs on his favorite team. And what he was telling me that it's just so interesting for me to hear like what the outsiders think on the Kings. So people who aren't like tapped in like every single game, watching and analyzing these games. I'm very curious to hear what they have to say. And you know what I was hearing tonight? Your true asset in the trade market is Malik Monk. Because let me tell you like his reasoning. You're not trading Fox. You're not trading Sabonis. You just got DeRozan. Kevin Huerter's got no value. Keegan is on his rookie contract still. Like, you shouldn't trade that. Malik Monk is one that you just signed for a pretty fair deal with $18 million a year. That is like your true value right there. And I was like, I didn't like hearing that because obviously we love Malik Monk so much. But I guess he does have a point in that business sense. But like, we can't get rid of Malik Monk.
I don't think you can, especially because you signed him.
We don't want to get rid of Keegan. You don't want to get rid of... I mean, like, the only guy that, like, Kings fans are probably, like, ready to get rid of is Kevin Huerter. And, like, we know he's been on the trade block for quite little over a season now. And it's like, we're not here to have episode 13 talking about trade talks and all.
Yeah,
but, like,
I mean, my God.
It just brought up an idea in my head where I'm like, what do the Kings do? Because obviously, like, who we have on our court at this right time, like, this isn't who we're going to finish the season with. Like, I think we all know that, and I think Monty McNair knows that. I think the front office, the coaching, I think everyone knows that. Like, who we have on the court is not sustainable for the whole season. And I'm just curious, like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, obviously, like, we're not GMs. Like, we're not here making those crazy decisions. Like, we're just here to root on the team and talk about it. And it's just so hard to pinpoint. It's so hard to pinpoint because, like, as you watch these games, like, you have such an attachment to all these players because they all provide, like, when they're at their peak, they provide something so special. And, like, obviously we saw it in previous seasons. But as of right now, it's not working. 20-game sample size is a large enough sample size to decipher like where the Kings are at. Like the preseason, for example, 5 games, 0 for 5. Start of the season, 20 games, 9-11. I don't know. It just brings up the question. Like, but then like we're probably gonna just be sad about this game, and then maybe on Sunday we turn it around and have an incredible game. Like that's the thing that you don't know. It's like we're so inconsistent, and it's like in the Thunder versus Lakers games tonight. Like the Thunder took care of business as they should, without Chet Holmgren, without another main guy, and it's just like how could a young team like OKC be so mature where a team with a bunch of vets and just not figure it out. Yeah. And it just leaves so many questions.
It leaves a lot of questions.
Back to this Portland game, like they had 6 guys in double figures, and we could barely get 3 guys in double figure. Well, okay, we had 4 with Jay Crowder.
Barely.
Let's just take a pause and let's just thank Jay Crowder for getting up from his house and joining the Beam team.
Yeah.
He posted on Instagram. He said, "My mom always told me I was a king," and I'm like, dude, Jay Crowder, we are here for you.
Yeah, we're big fans of Boss Man.
And want to hear the movement that people are starting? Yeah. Shouts out to Trevor Takamoto. He told me, he said, "We are louder for Crowder."
I love that movement. I love that.
And we're going to show Jay Crowder a ton of love when he comes into Socktown for his first game this Sunday. And the Kings are in a very difficult spot right now.
We are.
We're going to be sad about tonight's loss. We're going to be thinking about what went wrong, but we're going to turn the page on Sunday. Hopefully we figure things out. If not, we're going to be sitting here questioning if the earth is flat.
Oh my God.
The ocean, if there's like what is underneath the ocean. Is the sky actually blue? Is the grass green? Is Marvin Bagley actually a star player? Should Kyle Guy be an all-star? Like, we're going to be asking
Are we like
Crazy
are
questions.
we like the New York Jets or the Chicago Bears of the NBA where we fire coaches midway through the season, we can't develop players right. We think of like, oh, what players would be out of the league? Like, I just don't want to think about that.
I just don't want to think about that either. I just think the Kings need to have that conversation internally, player to player, coach to coach, collectively. They need to figure out what the issue is, go out there, play for each other, play with heart, play with aggressiveness, take something out of Jay Crowder's book, play with that dog.
They got to play with heart. They have no heart. They have no heart.
It doesn't look like we're playing to win right now.
No,
it doesn't
you're
look
just there
like
to show up.
It looks like a bunch of individuals just putting up individual performances. It doesn't look like we're playing for the common goal, and that is something that I think will change in the future.
Yeah.
We're 9-11, 20 games in. I don't think we ever could have predicted this. Our predictions for 20 games was not.
No.
I think we predicted 8-3 for the first 11 games, and now we're 20 games in, and we're 9-11. RT, this is the last thing we would have thought would have happened, and here we are. This is our reality right now.
Yep.
We're 20 games in, and let's face it, we're just average, and it sucks.
I don't even know if we're average. I think we're below average.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I know.
It just hurts everything.
We're not good. We're not a good team.
We're not a good team right now, but
we can figure it out.
We still
but right now we're not good.
Think about this. We still have 62 more games.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we have an 82-game season.
Yep.
Because if we had a shorter season, panic button would have been pressed. Yep. I'm still hovering.
I'm hovering it too.
I'm still hovering. We're still buying stock in Sacramento because we believe in this team. We love this team more than anything, and we are going to talk about it through the good, through the bad. We're gonna continue to be ride or dies like we always were.
Yep.
And I don't know what else to talk about today.
Well,
if you have any closing remarks, if you have anything important you want to say about this team, anything encouraging, anything, RT, the floor is yours. I just want to hear your voice because you got that voice of an angel, my friend.
I will say this. If you all can help us out on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, all the places, we are so close to 500 followers. I was telling Christo and Johnny like 2 or 3 weeks ago that we can hit 500 followers by the end of the year. They're like, no.
Oh, on Instagram?
On Instagram. They're like, no way. We can't hit 500 followers on Instagram. People, we are like 20 followers away.
I think we're 20 away.
We are 20 away.
Or we might be 21.
21.
I haven't checked in a little bit, but we're close.
We're very close. I need all of you to prove them wrong.
We need the Kang gang to morph together, link arms during these tough times as Sacramento Kings fans. Hit the follow button. But what would mean a lot to us, if you go on the YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, share it to a friend, comment, do all of those things. Because we just want the YouTube to grow. We want the Instagram to grow. We just want this podcast to grow because we
love this team so much.
We put a lot of effort into this. And we just
love this team.
We think that our product will be liked through the masses who are Sacramento Kings fans. So it will help us a lot if you just share it to your friends, like, and subscribe because we're growing and we have something. Not our next episode, but the next thing we're filming is going to be the big, and we're so excited. Time. We have a lot of surprises. It's going to be very fun.
It's going to be a very fun episode. I can't wait for it.
We're filming that in 3 days from now.
3 days, and we'll probably it'll be
uploaded probably
not right away, but probably
end of next week or the week after. Yeah. I'm gonna take my time on editing this one. I want this one to be really good.
Yeah,
but we have a bunch of stuff in store. That I think what we're uploading in a couple of days, or what we're filming in a couple of days, is just gonna snowball into more creative ideas for us, more opportunities, and we're excited to see what we could do with this new thing that we're introducing to the King Gang Pod.
Yeah,
we're here to try things new.
Yeah,
we're obviously very we're not even 2 months in, and we've uploaded on our YouTube page, including our shorts. We're up to over 60 videos right now.
That's incredible.
So we're pumping out content.
That's incredible.
So what you guys should do is just join the ride.
Just enjoy it,
because we're going to look back, like say when the next season starts, we're going to be deep in episodes at that point. So might as well join now.
Yeah.
Watch us grow together.
Buy our stock.
Buy stock in the Kang Gang pod, because right now it's at a good price.
Yeah.
You want to buy in right now?
Buy the dip
before it skyrockets.
Yeah, buy
right?
the dip. I know. Hell yeah.
But thank you so much again. Yeah, tonight sucked, dude.
Oh man,
it really
that
did.
sucked, man.
But what?
I think this helped.
It always helps. It always helps to talk about it, because when you're watching a screen and you're just watching defeat after turnover, after misplay, after horrible basketball, talking about it with a dear friend
makes it so much better,
Makes it
man.
so much better.
Makes it so much better.
And I hope that when you guys are, watching these games too, and either if it's the highest of wins or the lowest of losses, we could all enjoy these moments together.
Yep.
A lot of people have messaged me saying that these are like therapy sessions, and I'm glad they are.
Oh, I know.
This is an open
somebody
forum.
messaged me today.
I want you guys to like leave in the I want to see it in permanent form on the comments. I want to see how I want to hear instant
DMs,
reactions. I love
like
hearing
all that
people
stuff.
freak out when things are bad, because we do.
Yeah.
We do too. We talk highly, we talk badly, but that's part of the ride.
But that's the thing, is we have this team in our city. Now, granted, obviously the A's will be there, but
And the Sac Republic's got the new arena building up.
But this
Sacramento's
is
on the come up right now, but
this
Sacramento
is where the Kings are what our
Everything.
foundation to us.
They're the foundation. They're the backbone of the city. We love the city, and we love basketball, and we love the Kings, and we will ride or die for this team.
Yep. See you next time. Go
Episode
Kings.
13. 13 episodes, Ryan Clark.
I know, that's huge.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good.
13?
Yeah, 13.
13.
13.
Let's go. 13 episodes. You know that is a lot.
Yeah.
1 + 3, that is 4, just like C Webb.
Yep.
1, 3, Keegan Murray. What about Quincy Acey?
Yeah.
Quincy Acey, Derek Williams. What about Doug
Tyreek.
Christie? Doug Christie's bald. He's really bald. Look at his shiny head. You know who's red? Kevin Herter's hair.
Hey.
Red velvet cupcakes. That's what he's gonna eat.
Yep.
Because you know that he tweaked his ankle. You know he's not gonna be on the court.
Nope.
Because he's injured. But you know who's gonna come off the court? Not off the court. Sorry, off the bench. Devin Carter soon.
Yeah.
Devin
Can't wait.
Carter soon.
Friar Nation, please subscribe to us. Friar Nation, I love you. Friar Nation, Devin Carter, you made me a Friar fan for life. They're my college basketball team. I freaking love the Providence Friars.
Can you tell me what friar means?
Friar's like a...
I don't know what it means. I remember seeing the movement when he got drafted. I don't know what it means.
That's their mascot, the Providence Friars.
Friar is a mascot?
Yes.
Friar?
Yes.
What is a friar?
You don't know what a friar is?
Like an air fryer?
No. It's like a priest. It's like a priest. It's like